The ugly girl who turned out to be the chosen one, the ashy-skinned child. When Yugama was born, the midwife did not smile. "She's different," she whispered. Her skin was dull, her foot bent, her eyes too big. The villagers shook their heads. "A bad sign," they said. "The gods are not happy." Even her own father never carried her. At the age of 5, she was already used to names like witch child, bad luck, the shame of Yugama. But Yugama never cried. She would sit by the river, talking to herself, smiling at birds. She believed the sky was listening, even if no one else did. The girl who prayed for others. By 12, Yugama had no friends, but she had peace. She would wake early, fetch water for old Mama Is, gather firewood for the sick, and leave small food at the shrine even when she was hungry. Once, a boy asked her, "Why help people who laugh at you?" Yugama smiled, "Because even stones can become flowers, if rain touches them long enough." But secretly, her heart ached. She dreamed of being seen, just once, for who she truly was, the drought and the voice. Then came the long dry season, no rain, no food. Children cried at night. Goats died. The village called the gods, but the gods were silent. One night, lightning struck near the shrine, but no storm followed. The village priest woke up shaking. He called a meeting. The gods said, "The one we mocked is the one they love. Bring her. Bring Yugama." They laughed, thinking it was madness. But Yugama stepped forward, barefoot, calm, and as she walked through the crowd, the sky turned grey, thunder rumbled, raindrops fell, and the people went silent. The rain, the healing, the truth. That night, rain poured for the first time in months. The sick rose. The rivers filled. The crops breathed again. Yugama stood in the rain, face up, arms wide, glowing like moonlight, and they saw her, not the skin, not the foot, but her light. The priest came. The priest knelt before her. So did the chief. So did the same girls who once threw stones at her. We mocked a blessing. We cursed a gift. But Yugama only said, "I forgive you. I was never meant to be beautiful for the eyes, only for the spirit." Epilogue. The day Yugama changed. Today, there is a festival in her name. Girls with crooked teeth and broken voices dance proudly, because Yugama, the ugly girl, showed them that beauty fades, but truth shines forever. And every time it rains in Yugama, people whisper, "She is smiling." Yes. The return that broke the village. 10 years passed. Yugama was now a legend. Villages far and wide told her story of the girl once called ugly who became the chosen one. But one dry evening in Yugama, as the sun set red behind the hills, a woman in torn clothes, covered in dust, with grey in her hair, appeared. She walked with a limp, her eyes had lost their shine. It was Yugama, and no one recognized her. The stranger they mocked again. "Look at that mad woman," a boy whispered. "She smells like bush," said a girl. "She is disturbing the shrine." One elder snapped. They pushed her away, they threw stones, and once again, she said nothing. She sat alone under the same iroko tree where her journey had started. She waited for someone, anyone, to remember. But the statue they had built in her honor was now worn and forgotten. The songs had stopped. The hearts had moved on. The night the sky cried again. That night, lightning struck the hills. A strange sickness spread fast. Children coughed blood. Rivers dried up again. The air smelled of death. The village priest had a vision. The gods are angry again. We have forgotten the one they sent. We mocked her. Again. By the time they searched for her, Yugama was gone, but in the center of the village, under the statue, lay her torn wrapper. And a single fresh flower. Days later, an old blind woman arrived from another land. She told the villagers, "I was once sick, and a woman with a scarred foot healed me." Her name? They asked. The woman smiled. She had no name. She said, "Let my deeds speak louder than my face." Then they knew. Yugama didn't return to be honored. She came to test their hearts, and they failed again, but still, she left them healing. Final message: On the wall of the shrine, someone found a message scratched in red clay: "The heart that forgets kindness becomes a curse to itself." Yugama, and this time, they never forgot her again.